Happy to be here. Very happy to be here for our Vipassana insight and metta. And really want to welcome each of us, our various ages and ethnicities, our socioeconomic groups that are different from each other and differing abilities and sexual orientation, gender identity, cultural heritage, religious background, and just greet us all to be coming here together. All the various intersectionalities that we have, and yet we aspire to do no harm and to dismantle barriers that cause separation and suffering, recognizing that our liberation is interconnected with the liberation of all. Taking a breath or two and let the body settle down. Finding a stable place where you're sitting. Letting your feet touch the floor, or if you're sitting on a cushion, notice how the legs or ankles are touching each other as we begin to bring ourselves into this place of settling into the present moment. And what do we notice first when we first settle? One or two of our senses could be predominant. That touch point, the feet or the buttocks or where the hands might be touching. Maybe there's sensation at one of the sense doors, hearing, tasting, touching, seeing, smelling, and the thought door. And so we have all of these doors of the senses that we create our world with. All these conditioned things that arise and come to each one of these senses. And as we settle, we can let our eyes be slightly open or let them close all the way. Whatever enables us to have energy and just enough calmness to relax the body and settle the mind, and just enough energy to be interested in what's arising. We can start at first with the breath, if we're used to starting at the nostrils or the belly. Let the attention go to the place where you feel the most grounded in the body. Creating this stable container. And in our Buddhist practice, we pay homage to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Buddha really signifies the ability to be awakened in this lifetime. And the Dhamma, the teachings that were handed down, we also have the privilege being born human so that we can see for ourselves, find out for ourselves this teaching of the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path. Impermanence, seeing clearly what arises and what we might attach to and how we let go and what happens when we cling. All of this is a way for insight to be present. But we can start with a single object like the breath, wherever we can notice it the most or at the touch point, to rein in all of those senses, to just have one thing to pay attention to. Is it warm? Is it cool? Is it a long breath or a short breath? Is it rough or smooth or jagged, tingly? We cultivate interest in what's arising at this breath point that we are attending to. I found a simple, inspiring little verse by Rumi. Be empty of worrying. Think of who created thought. Why do you stay in prison when the door is so wide open? Move outside the tangle of fear thinking. Live in silence. Flow down and down into always widening rings of being. When the door is so wide open, why do we stay in prison? Move outside the tangle of fear thinking, empty of worry. Flow down and down into always widening rings of being. May we go in and in, having just enough interest to let mindfulness be at the foreground. When mindfulness sees what's going on, awareness is there. So we have mindful awareness that is also guided by wisdom. Wisdom can arise. And that wisdom can show us that whatever we're attending to is useful, or maybe we can let go of it. Are we inclining the heart and mind toward kindness and compassion? May we hold ourselves in that kindness as we sit during this time period.
So you ever hear the one about how it's too hard to live
Sound
sustainably?
is
Like,
occurring, comes to the ears. We can ask ourselves what is happening in the heart and mind right now. What is happening in the body? Is there restlessness? Is there trying to change things from the way they are? Is there worry? Is there sleepiness? Maybe there's doubt or agitation in the heart and mind. We just pay attention. Sounds arriving. Thought patterns arising in the mind. Lots of times the most obvious ones of physical sensations that catch our attention. We can be with them. And we can begin to notice, oh, is it pleasant or unpleasant? What's the feeling tone? Or maybe we really can't tell. Or we might have quick perceptions and then realize, oh, if I stay with it for just a second longer, it changes. It's different than I thought it was. So we want to stay fresh in the moment, keep the Dharma alive in the moment by having curiosity. How can we notice habits of the mind that are arising? What habitual thinking do we go back to? Or what habitual motion do we go back to? Just arousing ourselves to be interested in what's happening right now. Usually we can find something to attend to that is reminding us of impermanence, because it changes as we observe it. many places the mind flits about, going from one thing to the next, one thing to the next. And we just keep reminding ourselves, beginning again, attend to one single thing, maybe the breath or sensations in the body, or even changing sensations at the sense doors. But we can only attend to one thing at a time. And we're present with that one attending moment. This is what's happening now. Things are rising and falling apart, moment to moment awareness. And we're here to acknowledge it, witness it, have mindfulness and awareness there. This brings moments of joy. It's a quiet joy, but it's a subtle and calming joy. And as we notice these moments of mindfulness being continuous, that develops concentration. And that concentration can become blissful. It can become spacious. We tap in right now, becoming aware of the mind and body as they are in this moment. Staying relaxed, holding ourselves calmly and yet with interest. Being at ease with the way things are, present and attentive to what's arising and how long it lasts, and can we see it end? Can we see the arising, the middle, or the passing away of any one moment? Being aware of the ending of moments is not easy, but it really shows us impermanence. When we can really see the moment change. When we can really see that if we try to hang on to it, we can't. Where we can really begin to understand directly, direct knowing the impermanence and the non-personal nature of everything going on around us. But we do it in bite-sized pieces, one breath at a time, one moment at a time, one object at a time, which changes to the next object. becoming aware in this very moment. Maybe awareness is noticing a feeling of sleepiness or not knowing, or the feeling of cold or heat, heaviness or lightness. This awareness has this quality of reflectiveness that can see things that are the closest to us. It can reflect feelings of aversion and anger, kindness, pleasant feelings, unpleasant feelings, all kinds of things. And this quality of seeing, of knowing, this awareness is neutral. There's no sense of judging or criticizing. Awareness just reflects the judging or the critical mind, non-identifying with the person. That's what the Buddha means when he says that the Dhamma is apparent here and now. Not tomorrow or yesterday, but here and now, in the present moment. And the Dhamma is timeless. It's not dependent on time. And so as we hold ourselves in this kindness, in this present moment, we don't have to be aware of every detail of the experience. We're aware, and we know what we're aware of. That's what keeps the mind fresh. And as we hold ourselves in this place of kindness, nurturing this stability due to the homages and the precepts, May we take a moment to reflect on others, that we may open our hearts, open this body container to receiving others, those that we may know closely, that it's easy to send kindness, to include in our compassion. May we envision them happy and healthy, being at ease. And if things are challenging, may we hold them in our hearts, that they may be kind to themselves and have compassion for themselves the way we do when things are difficult. May you be free from harm. May you be safe and protected. May we envision another person. Maybe it's a family member, maybe it's a teacher or a close friend. Letting our hearts be open, that they may receive our well-wishing. May you be free from harm, safe and protected. May you have ease in your life. May we hold ourselves and each of these beings in our hearts. And may we expand this unconditional kindness to others that we don't know. Did you see someone recently on the street walking by, or on your walk, or maybe on one of your digital devices somewhere? Who pops into mind as a neutral person? Or maybe it's a group of neutral people. Wishing them well-being, holding them in our hearts. expanding this limitless sphere of kindness and compassion. Past our friendship circle or our family members, past our teachers, past our neutral people. Maybe there's a difficult situation that comes to the foreground, or a difficult person. May we touch upon giving them kindness as best we can, knowing that they wish to be happy just like I wish to be happy. It doesn't have to be a lot of forward-seeming love that we might not feel. It's just allowing their humanness to come forward and just touch upon it, something that affects us directly. A being that we might have some difficulty with. Just knowing that they wish to be happy. And if you can send some kindness toward them or send compassion toward them, give it a try. If not, don't worry about it. Step back and come back to giving that kindness to yourself. And touching upon those beings that inspire you. Those that hold you in kindness and compassion. So that this boundless place of kindness, non-personal, unconditional, can open within us to include all beings. Beings that are seen and beings that are unseen. Beings that are known and those that are unknown. Those enlightened and those unenlightened. May all beings everywhere find ease. Find the causes of happiness. Those that swim and crawl and walk, fly, even some of those that we might not find so pleasant. When you think about the monks in the old days meditating in Thai forest or forests of India, where there are wild animals and crawling things that strike you and bite and sting you. All of those beings, may all beings everywhere, enlightened and unenlightened, known and unknown, be free from harm, safe and protected, have ease and well-being. Anicca vata sankhara, upadavaya domino, upakitava meruchanti, te samvapasamo sukho. All conditioned things arise and pass away. They're subject to impermanence. Seeing this clearly with mindfulness can bring the greatest happiness which is peace. And may we really understand that the merit of this practice benefits all beings. Let's take a moment to get a drink of water or go to the bathroom really quickly. I'll come back in a couple of minutes and we'll have some more conversation. And if you're live on Facebook, you can go to my website, www.givenfreely.com, or you can go to the Portland Insight Meditation Center Facebook page, and you'll see a link to join the rest of the conversation on Zoom. Thank you for being here.